The year was 1990. The Cold War was thawing. A new era was dawning. In the heart of Moscow, a symbol of Western capitalism emerged: McDonald's. The arrival of the iconic Golden Arches was more than just a restaurant opening. It was a cultural earthquake. Thousands of Russians lined up for their first taste of a Big Mac. For many, McDonald's represented the promise of a new Russia, a Russia open to the world, a Russia embracing Western-style consumerism. The restaurant's success was immediate and overwhelming. It became a symbol of change, a beacon of globalization. But the story of McDonald's in Russia is not just about burgers and fries. It's a story about politics, power, and the complexities of globalization. It's a story that reflects the shifting sands of geopolitics, and it's a story that is far from over. The fall of the Soviet Union created a void that Western companies like McDonald's were eager to fill. McDonald's saw an untapped market of millions, a market hungry for American-style fast food and the novelty it represented. Expansion was rapid. Golden Arches popped up in cities across Russia. From St. Petersburg to Novosibirsk, Russians embraced McDonald's. It wasn't just the food, it was the experience. The clean restaurants, the fast service, the friendly staff. McDonald's became a part of the social fabric. Birthdays were celebrated there. First dates happened there. Families gathered there. For a generation of Russians, McDonald's wasn't just an American company. It was a Russian institution. It was a symbol of normalcy, of progress, of integration with the rest of the world. But the world was changing again, and the Golden Arches would soon find themselves caught in the crossfire.
The year 2014 marked a turning point. Russia annexed Crimea, a Ukrainian territory. The West responded with sanctions. The impact on the Russian economy was significant. The ruble plummeted. Foreign investment dried up. Global businesses operating in Russia felt the pressure. McDonald's was no exception. Suddenly, the company was caught between its business interests and its values. The pressure to take a stand grew. In March 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. The world watched in horror. The condemnation was swift and severe. The West imposed even harsher sanctions on Russia. For McDonald's, the situation had become untenable. The company announced a temporary suspension of its operations in Russia. It was a watershed moment. The Golden Arches, once a symbol of globalization, were now entangled in a geopolitical crisis.
The suspension of McDonald's operations sent shockwaves through Russia. For many, it was a stark reminder of the country's growing isolation. But it also created an opportunity for a Russian company to step in and fill the void. Enter Vkusno i Tochka, which translates to tasty, and that's it. The company acquired McDonald's restaurants and assets. It promised to offer a similar menu and experience. But there were some key differences. Gone were the iconic Golden Arches, replaced by a new logo, a stylized burger and 2 fries. The menu was tweaked. Some familiar items, like the Big Mac, disappeared. New items, with more localized flavors, were introduced. The rebranding was an attempt to create a distinctly Russian fast food experience. A way to appeal to national pride and cater to changing tastes. But the question remained, could Vkusno i Tochka truly replace McDonald's in the hearts and stomachs of Russians? In May 2023, McDonald's announced its complete withdrawal from Russia. The company sold its remaining stake in Vkusno i Tochka, severing its ties with the country. The move marked the end of an era. The reasons for the permanent departure were complex. Sanctions had made it increasingly difficult to operate in Russia. Supply chain disruptions were causing shortages, and the company faced mounting public pressure to take a stand against the war in Ukraine. The decision to leave was not taken lightly. Russia had been a key market for McDonald's for over 3 decades, but ultimately, the company decided that the risks outweighed the rewards. The departure of McDonald's is a stark reminder of the impact of geopolitics on business. It highlights the challenges that companies face when operating in volatile environments, and it raises questions about the future of globalization in an increasingly divided world.